It wasn't just a court hearing. It was a detonation. Years of secrets and whispers finally igniting under the harsh lights of a courtroom. For so long, reality TV painted the Browns as polished, quirky, even lovable. But behind the cameras, behind the smiles, something darker was festering. And now, it was about to explode. By 9 a.m., all eyes were fixed on the courthouse. A black SUV pulled up. The door opened, slow and deliberate. First came Kody Brown, but not the cowboy-booted patriarch we knew from television. Today, he was in a gray suit, his face hard, his jaw locked, eyes narrowed. He didn't wave. He didn't smile. This wasn't for the cameras. Behind him came Robyn, navy blue dress. Face frozen. No hand-holding, no warmth. Just tension so sharp you could slice through it. Reporters hurled questions like grenades. Did you steal money from the other wives? Robyn, are you facing criminal charges? Will your children testify today? Neither spoke. But their silence was deafening. So how did we get here? It started with whispers. Cryptic posts from Christine, then Janelle, then even Mary. Words about betrayal. About rebuilding after devastation. Christine said it best. The truth cuts deeper when it comes from those you once trusted. And then came the leaks. Ex-family members hinting at secret bank accounts, hidden transfers, money funneled into places no one else could touch. Most damning of all, the timing. Almost every suspicious transfer happened right after Christine walked away. That's when attorneys stepped in. Forensic audits, demands for transparency, allegations of civil fraud. What began as online speculation had snowballed into something far greater, a state investigation. To understand the magnitude, you have to go back. Early on, the Browns lived like one chaotic but united family. Every dollar from TLC, from books, from business ventures went into one shared fund. That money paid for groceries, for kids' schooling, for every part of their daily lives. But everything shifted in 2014. That was the year Kody legally divorced Mary and legally married Robyn. Suddenly, she had what none of the other wives had: power on paper, decision-making authority, legal access to accounts, control over assets. And according to court filings, Robyn and Kody used that power to quietly divert between $1, $2 and $2 million into private trusts, LLCs, and accounts from 2016 to 2022. Money meant for all the wives, now tied up in luxury homes, expensive furniture, even private school tuition for Robyn's kids. By the time Christine and Janelle tried to intervene, the money was already gone. The courtroom itself was small, but packed wall to wall. Reporters filled the first rows. At the front sat Kody and Robyn, cold and unflinching, their lawyers insisting this was nothing more than bitter ex-wives on a smear campaign. But the prosecution's first move shattered that defense. They dropped Exhibit A, a record of a $200,000 transfer. Family money. Moved directly into an account labeled Robyn Home Purchase. Gasps rippled through the room, and that was just the beginning. Document after document followed. Credit card records showing charges billed to Christine and Janelle's accounts, luxury handbags, thousands in tuition, purchases they swore they never approved. One even included a signature Christine said she had never written. A handwriting expert confirmed it, forged. At one point, the judge leaned forward, removed his glasses, and said, "If even half of this is true, we are looking at more than miscommunication. This could be civil fraud." Then came the moment that broke hearts. A never-aired clip from Sister Wives was played in the courtroom. On screen, Kody's voice. "I didn't think I needed their permission to protect what matters. Robyn and I are doing what's best for this family." The video cut to Janelle whispering, "He stopped caring about this family the moment it stopped being about Robyn." The room went silent. Not a cough. Not a breath. Outside, the internet exploded. Kody exposed. Robyn court scandal. Nemmert's sister wives fraud. Social media lit up. Fans called for jail time. Bloggers and YouTubers broke down every shocking revelation. Even TLC's future was suddenly in question. This was no longer just drama. This was a reckoning. For years, Kody sold us the dream of a family united in love, chaos, and faith. But now, that dream had collapsed under the weight of paper trails, dollar signs, and betrayal. And at the very center of it all sat Robyn Brown. No longer just the favorite wife, but the accused architect of one of the most explosive scandals in reality TV history. It wasn't just paperwork being shuffled through a courtroom. It was the slow unmasking of a betrayal that cut deeper than money. As the pre-recorded video depositions rolled, the walls themselves seemed to lean in closer, holding their breath. Christine appeared first on the screen, her voice sharp, her eyes locked into the camera lens as if staring directly at Robyn. I trusted her. I believed she was acting for the good of the family. But every smile, every promise, it was all a cover. She turned Kody against us. She divided us piece by piece while pretending to hold us together. Then came Janelle, her tone colder, her anger simmering. There were accounts I didn't even know existed. She claimed we were broke, yet she had money moving into places we weren't allowed to question. And Kody, he just followed along. This was no longer about figures in a ledger. It was about betrayal, dishonesty, and the slow corrosion of trust. The so-called sister wife had become the architect of suspicion. And then there was Robyn herself, not the tearful, soft-spoken woman America thought they knew from TV screens. Not the vulnerable mother breaking down in interviews. No, this Robyn was something else entirely. Cold, silent, whispering only to her attorney, never once meeting the gaze of Christine or Janelle. Legal experts watching called it strategic silence, a silence meant to protect her. But silence has its own power, and it left the room colder than words ever could. What came next broke everything wide open. A forensic accountant took the stand, armed with receipts, wire transfers, and dates. She pieced the puzzle together step by step, family milestones against Robyn and Kody's secret transactions. July 2019. Christine's daughter needed money for surgery. The family was told funds were gone. Yet $48,000 had been spent that same month, not for the family, but for new renovations in Robyn's home. November 2020, Mary asked for a small portion of business profits to launch a project. She was told the account was empty. Yet just weeks earlier, $75,000 had been funneled into Life with Robyn Inc. Early 2021. Kody pushed Janelle to sell her RV for family survival. Meanwhile, $60,000 disappeared into backyard luxuries, a hot tub and an outdoor fireplace at Robyn's Flagstaff mansion. The accountant's verdict was chilling. This wasn't mismanagement. This was deliberate. A calculated redirection of funds, benefiting one couple at the expense of everyone else. And then, the most heartbreaking testimony of all, the children's voices. Written statements from Kody's own kids were read aloud, echoing through the court like confessions from broken hearts. I thought the money was for all of us. I worked 2 jobs believing college help wasn't possible. Turns out it was only impossible for me. Another statement, reportedly from one of Robyn's children, admitted, I was told never to question. I thought everything was being taken care of. I realize now, I never knew the full truth. The betrayal wasn't just between wives. It was generational. It was written into the futures of their children, some protected, others left to struggle. By now, TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit had caught fire. Fans posted receipts, dug up old episodes, dissected Robyn's every glance and gesture as if the truth had been hiding in plain sight all along. One viral post read, "She built a kingdom in secret while pretending to barely survive." And as the day ended, Robyn exited with oversized sunglasses shielding her eyes, Kody trailing behind, shaken, pale, his silence almost as damning as the evidence itself. But this was not the end. It was only the opening act. Because when the gavel struck again, it would be Kody's turn. The judge's voice cut through the heavy air. "Mr. Brown, you may now respond to these charges." Kody stood, his tie trembling in his hands, his face flushed, the mask of the patriarch slipping, cracking in real time. And as he opened his mouth, the room held its breath. It wasn't strategy. It wasn't calm defense. It was rage. Kody Brown stood before the court and, instead of measured reasoning, unleashed a storm. His voice cracked through the chamber like thunder. This isn't fraud. It's revenge. Hurt feelings dressed up as a lawsuit. Gasps rippled through the room. The judge raised an eyebrow, his gavel tapping once in warning. "Mr. Brown, keep your tone appropriate." But it was already too late. The dam had broken. Kody's words pounded like waves against the courtroom walls. I gave up my privacy, my peace, my sanity for this family. 4 wives, 18 children, a life under the constant glare of TV cameras. And now what? I'm dragged through the mud for trying to save what little we had left. Reporters scribbled furiously. Outside, cameras caught muffled shouts. This wasn't a patriarch defending his name. This was a man unraveling, live, uncut, and unedited. The judge struck the gavel again, sharper this time. "Mr. Brown, control yourself." But Kody wasn't done. His gaze swept the room before locking onto Christine and Janelle. His voice sharpened to a blade. "You quit, both of you. You abandoned this family. Now you rewrite history and paint me as the villain because I tried to hold it together." The silence that followed was deafening. Christine sat unmoved, her face cold as stone. Janelle lowered her eyes, jaw clenched. For years, TLC had edited Kody into the role of struggling patriarch, the man balancing chaos, wrangling arguments, patching broken pieces of plural marriage. But here, in this room, no edits, no sympathetic music, just a man losing the narrative in real time. His lawyer tugged at his shoulder, urging him to sit. Kody refused. His voice cracked, raw, desperate. "Do you have any idea what I carried? The lies spread about me. The press twisting everything. I tried to keep peace in a house full of rebellion, keep the wives together, keep the show alive, keep food on the table. They didn't want plural marriage anymore. That's fine, but don't pretend I manipulated anyone. I sacrificed, and now Robyn and I are crucified for staying loyal." By the time Kody collapsed into his chair, his rant spent, his lawyers hurried to pick up the pieces. The defense was clinical, measured. 3 pillars to counter the firestorm. Miscommunication. No contracts, no binding agreements, just verbal trust in a plural marriage. What Christine and Janelle called fraud, they painted as sloppy communication. Survival, private accounts, LLCs, trusts. Kody's lawyer argued they weren't tools of greed but lifeboats created after Christine left, meant to stabilize what remained. Robyn, as the only legal wife, was simply the logical partner. No criminal intent. Every transaction, every wire transfer they claimed had been reviewed by accountants and tax advisors. "This isn't theft," the lawyer insisted. "It's heartbreak. It's confusion. It's the collapse of a family that never fit into conventional rules." The courtroom shifted. For the first time, Kody's voice softened. He looked at the judge, weary, broken. "I did what I had to do, Your Honor. The family was falling apart. Responsibilities were abandoned. I preserved what I could." But as he said it, his voice trembled. For the first time, Kody Brown looked like a man staring at the ruins of a house he himself had set aflame. Then, Christine rose. Allowed a short statement during recess, her presence cut sharper than Kody's tantrum. Calm, direct, devastating. "We agreed, years ago, that family funds would be shared equally. I trusted that system. Until one day I was told there wasn't money for my children's school fees. And then I saw pictures of Robyn's new backyard renovation. If he had told us things changed, I would have understood. But he didn't. He just took. And he expected us to stay silent. It wasn't fiery, it wasn't emotional, it was steady and crushing." By nightfall, Kody's meltdown had gone viral. Hashtags stormed across platforms. Jar Kody loses it, defending Robyn, justice for Christine. TikTok stitched courtroom transcripts with sister wives clips. One viral comment mocked, "Kody really turned the courtroom into his therapy session. Bro, you're not in a confessional, you're in court." Experts weighed in. Body language analysts, marriage therapists, family counselors. Their verdict was unanimous. Kody's tirade wasn't power, it was panic. "When someone loses the system they controlled, they lash out," one therapist explained. This wasn't about money. It was about control, about legacy, about image. And that's what made this moment so damning. Kody Brown wasn't fighting to win the lawsuit. He was fighting to win back his story. But in court, facts crush feelings. And facts, so far, weren't on his side. As the judge adjourned, his parting words cut through the tension like a blade. "This court will not tolerate theatrics. We are not here to judge who failed in marriage. We are here to judge broken commitments." Kody slumped into his chair, pale, defeated. Robyn didn't touch him. The gallery emptied. Reporters rushed for the doors. And the world braced itself. Because if this was Kody's defense, then the prosecution's real bombshells hadn't even begun. The next morning, the spotlight would turn to her. Mrs. Robyn Brown, take the stand.
The journalist didn't dare look away. Pens scratched, keyboards clicked. Every eye was on Robyn Brown. For years, she'd been branded two ways: Kody's most faithful wife, or the manipulative woman who destroyed the family. Today, she had to pick a side: defend Kody or defend herself. She sat down, glanced at the ceiling lights, exhaled. Her voice was even, but her eyes betrayed her. The lawyer began. Mrs. Brown, did you know anything about Mr. Brown's financial dealings with the other wives? Robyn hesitated. Yes, but only what he told me. I wasn't directly involved. Did Mr. Brown ever ask you to open joint accounts in just your name? A pause. Her voice cracked. Yes, but he said it was to keep the money safe, not secret. The courtroom hummed with tension. Everyone knew the accusations. For months, whispers swirled online. Kody and Robyn had funneled family money into private accounts, hidden behind trusts, to fund their lifestyle. The lawyer pressed harder. And did you know about property deeds being transferred into your name alone? Robyn blinked rapidly. I signed what Kody told me to sign. Christine's team dropped the bomb. Bank statements, title transfers, cold paperwork. Nearly $600,000 in assets moved to Robyn's name in just 3 years, pulled from joint family. Accounts meant to support every wife. The betrayal was laid bare. Janelle's attorney leaned forward, his voice steady, but edged with fury. This isn't about money, Mrs. Brown. It's about betrayal. You signed away what wasn't yours. Robyn's defense collapsed. Her attorney tried to object. The judge cut him down. Did Kody coerce you into signing? Robyn's voice broke. He said it was for our future, that the others would be okay. Behind her, Kody glared, jaw tight. Then came the moment no one could avoid. Kody Brown himself took the stand. At first, he strode confidently, a bespoke suit framing his forced composure. But cross-examination stripped him bare. Christine's lawyer didn't waste time. Mr. Brown, did you instruct Robyn to create a will in 2022 that left out the children of your other wives? Kody blinked, stunned. That was for simplicity. Nothing sinister. But you did leave them out? Silence. Yes, at our attorney's advice. Gasps exploded in the courtroom. The lawyer fired again. Did you transfer family property into Robyn's name to shield it from divorce claims? Kody stammered. I didn't think it would get that far. I thought they were just angry. The paper trail told another story. Signed deeds, hidden trusts, incriminating emails. The judge himself intervened. Mr. Brown, do you understand the consequences of reassigning jointly held family property without consent? Kody's shoulders sagged. Now I do. But I thought I was protecting the family I had left. The courtroom froze. The patriarch of polygamy, once larger than life, was reduced to a man caught in his own web. Then unexpectedly Robyn rose again. Shaking, she begged to speak. I never wanted this. I only wanted peace. Kody told me we had to protect ourselves. I didn't realize the damage until now. Christine, Janelle, I am sorry. If I could turn back time, I would. Some whispered crocodile tears. Others saw cracks in the fortress she had built around herself. Christine's eyes welled, but her face stayed strong. Janelle never looked at her once. The judge closed the day with a warning that shook the room. If this court finds that assets were intentionally hidden, sanctions will be imposed: restitution, asset freezes, or further investigation. Silence. A dynasty crumbling in real time. Outside, hashtags ignited within minutes. Hashtag Robyn exposed, hashtag Kody court showdown, hashtag justice for Janelle. TikToks and YouTube breakdowns went viral overnight. Clips of Kody's tirade were spliced against old Sister Wives episodes. Fans were no longer passive, they had become watchdogs. Mainstream media piled in. CNN, People magazine, Entertainment Tonight. The Brown family wasn't just a reality show anymore. They were a cautionary tale splashed across America's front page. The judge's written notes hit the hardest. Kody had not only failed to document asset divisions, He had actively cut Mary and Janelle off from accounts once they left him. And Robyn. Her emotional pleas collapsed under the weight of one sentence that will haunt her forever. This court does not accept the argument that emotional distress exempts one from financial accountability. Christine broke her silence on Instagram.com. Empowered. Truth is finally out. I hope this gives women in similar situations strength. Silence only protects the wrong people. Janelle was sharper. He bet our future on Robyn's comfort. And now the courts see it too. Even Mary One's neutral joined the chorus. Some people will betray you and then act like you hurt them. The wives, once divided, now stood together not on faith, but survival. Meanwhile, TLC scrambled. Ratings skyrocketed, but advertisers flinched. Whispers leaked. The network might cut ties with Kody and Robyn, maybe even hand Christine and Janelle their own spinoff. The ruling was civil division of assets, repayment of debts, but the judge flagged suspicious transfers and misleading filings. Lawyers online said it plainly. If intent to defraud is proven, Kody and Robyn could face felony fraud charges. And the saddest image? Robyn herself. Once proud in her Arizona home, now photographed leaving court with swollen eyes, trapped in the cage she helped build. A family dynasty had burned down. But this time, the flames weren't lit by jealousy or favoritism. They were lit by the truth. Christine, Janelle, and Mary finally walked away, not just free, but vindicated. For Kody and Robyn, the chapter isn't closed, but it's cracked wide open. And the world is reading every word. And the world is reading every word.